What's going on, people? It's your man the White B, back once again. So, I made a somewhat controversial video a few days ago, speculating. I mean, I've seen comments. Is it the majority? No, I'd say it's probably a niche. 10% of people, 10-20% of people said this fight was fixed. I provided some circumstantial evidence. Really super circumstantial, like super duper circumstantial, in as much as there's big money involved. Some statements made by Prince Mohammed bin Turkey bin Salman, Prince Turkey bin Salman, telling AJ, yeah, knock this guy out, get this guy out of boxing, and that's what happened. That's really where it comes from, yeah? The Prince wanted something, and it literally happened that way, yeah? This guy, don't let this guy... Salman said something like, what was it? It was something really aggressive. Something really biased towards AJ. Finish this guy. Don't let this guy come into boxing. Make a muggins of him. And that's what happened. It was the biggest muggins ever, wasn't it? Ngannou didn't land a punch. And AJ got his second round KO. More or less in his career. That's a fact, people. Yeah? So adding them two facts together, AJ's never knocked no one out in 2 rounds. Oops. You have to go back to Gary Cornish. Gary Cornish in like 2015, 2014? I don't know, whenever it was. Gary Cornish was the last guy AJ knocked out in 2 rounds. And even then, was Gary knocked Spark out? I'm not sure he was. So the point is, AJ's never had power like that. He's never had that stinging Wilder power. AJ went in there with Brazil. It went 7 rounds. At the time, I was telling people, well, there's no way Wilder's going to be able to do anything with Brazil. Wilder goes in there and pops him right in his mouth in round 1, and he's smoked. Now, I don't rate Wilder, yeah? When Wilder needs his power, it disappears, yeah? If he was that much of a big puncher, why did Fury get up? Oops, yeah? If he's that much of a big puncher, why Joe Parker still walking around like something funny? So, the facts show AJ's never been a one-punch knockout artist. You have to go back to the bums and the journeymen in his career to even find evidence of it. Vlad, Parker, Takam, Pulev, Ruiz, Usyk. Name anyone. Even Wallin was like 5 or 6 rounds. So, I guess you can say, well, it's because it's not a boxer. If Ngannou was that bad, Fury would have done something with him. That's the bottom line. If, for example, if Ngannou was Gary Cornish bad, then Fury would have knocked him out, right? Obviously, boxing triangles don't work perfectly like that. I'm just putting suspicions out there. I told you in that first video that I'm 70 to 80% sure that the fight was genuine. However, when big money's involved, when big biased money at that, it's not like Turkey bin Salman came out and said, hey, I'm promoting this fight and I just want the best. I just want a good fight for the fans. Yeah, but when a man with that kind of influence puts a certain bias on something, and then that result exactly happens, which is shocking. When a man who ain't never knocked no one out in 2 rounds, and not just knocked him out, he put him down in the first round and knocked him Spark out in the second round. AJ doesn't do that. Is it the Ben Davison effect? We're going to find out. And I hope it is. I genuinely hope we sit here a year or 2 from now and he's knocked Usyk Spark out. And that's what I want if people get it twisted. Yeah? Oh, I be a hater. I wanted that. I betted on it, you muppets. I bet on AJ. I bet $1,000 as well. My broke arse. My degenerate have an arse. At a time, yeah, $1,000 would have been easily, what, 20, at the very best, 20%, or at the worst, 20% of my net worth. You understand that? Put a bag up. So don't tell me about you a hater. Yeah? I was there. A lot of you goof troop who say they're shilling AJ, show your betting slips then. Because if you was actually putting your money up, the way you be talking so much, oh, why be you a hater? You don't believe. The money believe though. That's the ultimate thing. I don't want to hear no one's opinion. Put some money up. That's what I want to hear. Yeah, and the thing is, if you had put money up like I had, you'd be feeling bent out of shape as well. Do you understand? It's easy for you guys, yeah, you bandwagon cats who just sit there knocking the drum. AJ, you ain't got no coin on the line. You ain't hurting. Yeah? You ain't hurting when AJ lose. You can just jump back on Twitter and jump back on wherever else and keep shilling some. He gonna be back king. Yeah? That's easy to do when you don't have no meat in the game, no stakes on the line. When you got stakes on the line, I take it personally. Yeah? Who gonna give my money back? You big having ass. Yeah? Who gonna get back? No one is the answer. That's why I'm mad. I'm mad not because he lost. I've said from the start, I'm happy for people to lose. Yeah? Luckily, I don't think I had money on Joyce versus Zhang, but I didn't. But performances like that, especially the first one, would I have been angry at Joe? No. Because he didn't stop trying to fight. Yeah? He left it all out there and got punched up. Got stopped. You can't really argue with that. You can argue with a man, a big ass man at that, big power puncher, and all you AJ fans, yeah, who are on his bandwagon, you need to question yourself now. A man with this level of power that you're 100% certain in, where was it against a 200-pound midget? Oh. That's the question I've been asking. I believed in the guy. Don't tell me that I was the one betting on it in the first fight. I was the one putting a bag up. Yeah, I put a bag up for 1,300 payback. Free money, I thought. Yeah? That's what I was doing. That's how confident I was in dude's power. Yeah? So don't talk to me about nothing until you show me, yeah, fair play. If there's a man out there, yeah, who have put big money on AJ this whole time and you're still backing him, fair play to you. Well, you've been backing him, fair play to you. But you man of them ones there, just stay in the cut. Just, oh yeah, Team AJ. When it's time to put the money up, that's how much do you really back someone? How much do you really believe in someone? Put the money up. Oops. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Otherwise, keep it zipped. Because all you've got is an opinion. Everyone got one of them. What everyone hasn't got is 20% of their net worth on the line. Yeah? That's what they ain't got. 100%. So, no doubt. Anyway, I made them videos speculating that was the fight fixed or whatever else, but new information's come to light. And I'm actually probably 99% sure it was legitimate. Why? I'm going to show you one of the reasons now. This is AJ, and the thing is, I fell asleep. The fight was on late, man. It was like 1:30. I was expecting it at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It wasn't on until like 1 o'clock or whatever. So I fell asleep and I missed some of these bits here, but you'll see leaked footage. I'm not going to play it because you know what they're like, the devils. The copyright devils will be on me, but I'll do the frame by frame. And you can see, at some point, AJ is in the changing room with Davidson. And Davidson, there we go, there's an example of it. Now, this particular combination, it would be AJ with jab. So you see AJ jab now. Ben Davison here, he feints a jab, and then AJ leans back a bit and pops the right hand. So if anything, this is evidence that it wasn't fixed. Why? Because if you look at the shot that knocked Ngannou's spark out, AJ didn't actually lead with a jab. Yeah, he missed the start of the sequence. The sequence is AJ jabs, Ben Davison puts a jab out, AJ pulls, and then right hands. The actual final KO sequence was AJ not even really pulling. He doesn't actually pull back, as I showed in the video. He kind of just stays there and then loads up and wings the right hand. So if anything, this shows imperfections. If this fight was choreographed, which I said was possible, given the facts I've explained, then it would have been as it was shown here. It would be AJ jabs, Ngannou jabs, and then AJ wings the right hand. And in fact, again, the imperfections imply it was real. Yeah? This shows that AJ was actually not doing what he was taught to do. AJ was taught to jab Ngannou, wait for a jab to come back, and then wing the right hand. AJ missed most of the steps. He missed the jab. He missed pulling from Ngannou's jab. He doesn't, like in this footage here, you'll see, when Ben Davison jabs, AJ in training slips the shot. In the actual fight, as you'll see, AJ's head doesn't move. The footage is there. His head literally stays still. He drops his hands and then wings the right hand. And you can see that frame by frame in the video I did the other day. So here we go, look. So AJ jabs there. He jabs Ben Davison. Ben Davison feints a jab. See AJ pulling here. So watch this. Watch these 3 frames. So Ben Davison's jabbing. Watch AJ's head change. Davison's jabbing. AJ pulls back. And then wallop. Yeah? So the way the fight actually played out, AJ didn't pull back. He didn't start the sequence off with a jab. He literally misses all the steps apart from... All AJ really locks in on is the fact that when it's the very end of the sequence, I'm going to miss setting it with my jab. I'm going to miss moving my head. I'm just going to, the minute I see Ngannou's jab, I'm going to pull my right hand down and wing it. Which really, when people talk about AJ's IQ, this is a good sign that it was legitimate. That makes sense. Because he's not actually setting it up. All AJ's recorded is, when Ngannou jabs, I'm just going to wing my right hand. It wasn't, he didn't even do the step of, for example, a higher IQ step would have been, as soon as I see Ngannou jab, I'm going to pull, slip it, and bang my right hand. AJ didn't slip the jab. In the video I show you, the jab lands. It's short, because Ngannou hasn't moved his feet in. It's short, but it moves, and I tried to do it. Watch the video I made the other day. And AJ's nose is hit with quite a lot of force, to such an extent that you see his nostrils almost 90 degrees, fully submerged on the other side of his face. So there was weight in that shot. AJ didn't slip it. Nonetheless, he drops his hands and bangs the right hand. This does have implications going forward, though, I believe. Why? Well, Ngannou, you could argue, was a sitting duck. Yeah? This makes me worry about the Usyk fight in that sense. Now, Ben Davison's got the IQ. So Ben Davison's not going to be preparing AJ to jab, slip and wing a right hand. It's not going to be that simple with someone like Usyk or Fury. And I hope that Ben Davison can work on a good plan that AJ can actually implement. But the fact AJ missteps is somewhat worrying. No fight, that's the problem. No fight's going to be that... It's not going to be that simple though, is it? I jab, he jab. Especially not against Usyk. Against Ngannou, it could have been that simple, and it was. In fact, it was more simple than Ben Davison expected. AJ to have to jab, AJ to have to slip, AJ to bang the right hand. All AJ had to really do is wait for a jab and bang the right hand. So, do you know what I'm saying? But against someone like Fury or Usyk, who aren't predictable, who are all constantly changing, such static things, and you'll see some of the footage, but AJ, he's proper leaning over with the right hand, which generates a lot of power. Look at this, he's fully leveraged with the right hand. Not as much as Jake Paul, but Jake Paul got no technique, no form, he just looks at the floor and wings it. AJ weren't looking at the floor, but part of the thing that got AJ into trouble in the first Usyk fight was him overcommitting. And in the second fight, he tried to keep things a lot more narrow and a lot more army, and that still didn't work. It's almost like you need the best of both worlds. If what you need is commitment, that's what was missing, really. And as much as I've been critical here, potentially, of AJ's style or whatever, in the Wallin fight and the Ngannou fight, that's what was there, if nothing else. If we sit here and say, well, AJ he wasn't following the plan exactly, he didn't slip, he didn't jab first, he just looked for a jab and wing the right hand, at least he did that with 100% conviction. I believe that's all he needs. AJ needs to go in there, yeah, and whatever plan they come up with, if he's committed to it, if he's committed to throwing his hands 30 times around, 30 plus times around, I've said it from the beginning, that's what I bet on it. I believe AJ will beat Usyk. Chisora did that. Chisora was, no matter what you say about him, he's not the best boxer, but he's committed. And if you're that big, yeah, and that strong, and AJ's much stronger, much faster, much younger, much better than Chisora. If you go in there with that level of tenacity and commitment, whatever you do against a man like Usyk who can't punch. And we saw that, people. Look at round 9 of that second fight. AJ was in there doing all this narrow stuff, no commitment. Round 9, he put a little bit of commitment in. I would argue, not even as much as we saw in the Wallin fight, certainly not the Ngannou fight. With that little bit of commitment in round 9, Usyk was about to get knocked out. Oops. Yeah? And that's why I had a grand on the line. And that's why I've been saying it. A committed AJ, not committed to training, we know he can train. An AJ that comes in with bad intention and who's committed to make, so far AJ, unfortunately, not the only one, but so far AJ, I said it the other day, but AJ, he would not make it to Warriors Paradise. He doesn't make it there, people. Yeah? Joe Joyce makes it there. Yeah? Joe Joyce will fight anyone and he'll get knocked out trying to win. Dillian White, he'll fight anyone and he'll get knocked out trying to win, as he did against AJ. AJ doesn't have any of that on his resume. He doesn't have it. Yeah? Are you going to be knocked out to win? Are you prepared to do that? He wasn't against Ruiz in both fights, really. Was AJ prepared to get knocked out trying to knock Ruiz out? Which is what he should have done. That's reciprocal. It's a bit like Lennox Lewis and Hasim Rahman. Lewis got knocked out. Lewis didn't go in there politicking with dude. You give me one, it's my duty as a warrior to give you one back. AJ went in there and ran from his destiny. Yeah? Whatever that may have been. He should have gone in there with bad intentions. I'm going to punch this 300-pound looking ass all the way back where he came from. Yeah? That's what he should have done. And I've been saying that and I'll stay saying it. Same with Usyk. AJ had a good round 9. Did he build on that? People say the spirits or God sends you things for a reason. Round 9 was there for a reason. Yeah? That was, the Warriors were looking down from Valhalla and saying to AJ, do you want to make it here or not? Yeah? AJ could have said at that point, you know what, people, if it's my destiny tonight to put these heavy 250-pound having hands on this little dude, that's what I'm going to have to do. And if I have to go on my back trying to do so, so be it. I can walk out the ring. And that's the thing, AJ was disappointed with himself. Yeah, nothing to do with me. Oh, you're a hater. Nothing to do with me. He the one who got in the ring mad at himself after the fight. I critiqued it at the time. Why are you jumping on the ropes, making a big scene after the fight? Why have you got a bunch of energy and a bunch of aggression after the fight? It doesn't make no sense. Yeah? Which again is even more corny. That's even more corny. Yeah? Round 9, that was the stage was set now. The spirits were asking him, how much do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want to make it through the gates? And he didn't. He didn't want to go there. He had a good round 9, and then he started, obviously, psychologically. No, listen, it's round 10 of the fight, people. Usyk was tired. Usyk was the one who's just been punched up. Usyk's the one who's moving up 30 pounds and carrying baggage. Usyk looked F-U-C-K'd. He looked like he was not ready to go, but a few more rounds of that. And AJ only lost by 2 rounds. So if AJ had gone in there, he didn't even necessarily have to knock Usyk out. He just had to keep going. Yeah? AJ could have put his chin down. I'm not even saying keep his hands up. AJ could have put his chin down and said, you know what? This guy can't hurt me. He ain't never hurt. No, who's he hurt before? No one. Yeah? I'm going to put my hands at my chest level, put my chin down, and this guy's going to have a fight with me right now. I'm not having this dude tip-tapping no more. We're going to fight. And if he wants to pop, a bit like Chisora, if you want to pop me in my mouth, that's what you'll do. Derek Chisora followed Tyson Fury around the ring for 10 rounds, getting his head punched off. Could do nothing about it. AJ didn't have to. You know, all we were asking for is a bit of that from AJ in the Usyk fight, and Chisora was completely outgunned. AJ was the one with the big guns. All he had to do was pull a Chisora. I'm going to put my chin on my chest, have my hands at shoulder height, and we're going to have a fight. Me and you right now, you midget, we're fighting. Oops. And Usyk could have been knackered and punched around the place because he can't. Yeah, Usyk can tap you a few times. He can't hurt you though. Yeah? You're the dangerous one in this situation. I used the analogy the other day about the whole think bike. In the UK, there's a big thing called think bike. They want car users to think about bikes on the road. And I said, that don't make no sense to me. Bikes should be told to think car. Yeah? It's not me who's going to come flying off. So be careful what you're doing. The littler man is the one who should be having to think about being careful. And AJ had his best round. He should have been filled with confidence. And he's too focused on, I'm tired. I'm tired and I just want to survive now. And that's why I don't rate that. Yeah, because guess what, people? If you're that tired, drop on the floor. So you weren't that tired, was he? What he means to say is he was politically tired. I'm tired enough not to want to fight properly. I'm not tired enough to get knocked out. That's not how tired works. We've seen fighters exhausted. An exhausted fighter just gets clipped with one shot. I'll give you an example, and that's why I rate Anthony Yarde, and I've told you. Anthony Yarde, another fighter who makes it through the gates of Valhalla. And at the time I was young and critical, but I rate Yarde. When Yarde was in there with Kovalev, yeah, he left it all out there. And what happened? He got exhausted and a jab hit him and he's on his back. Fucked. You can't argue with that. He left it all out there. And he went out with pride knowing, I had nothing left, people. And actually had nothing left. AJ, big ass, jump on the ropes. Oh, it's hard being this big. Oh, wait a minute. Anthony Yarde's what, 190 pounds or whatever, probably on fight night. You're 250 pounds. So when Anthony Yarde was genuinely tired, he gets hit with a jab and he's on his back. Don't tell me you're that tired, but you're still boxing for 3 rounds. AJ was political with Usyk. He wasn't that tired. He just didn't want to go there. Yeah, he didn't want to go where Anthony Yarde had to go. And I believe in doing so, well, it's one or the other. In doing so, if AJ had pushed himself to that place, he either would have won. He only had to win 2 of the 3 rounds that were left. He could have literally said, you know what, I'm going to become tactical now. Yeah? I'm going to have round 10 off. And then I'm going to give this guy the biggest 6 rounds of it. He can't even imagine. He could have been political for that round 10. And he could have said to himself, I'm going to take this round off, yeah? And this guy is going to get one hell of a 6 minutes. Yeah? I'm going to give it... And that's what the corner should have been saying. Who are these corner guys? This is yours. The corner in there. What was that? I think Robert Garcia was in the corner. Oh, I know what he was saying. Oh, man, you winning. Goofball. And then Robert Garcia gets sacked off and he's mad. Oh, corny ass dude. I'd have been telling AJ. And that's why I rate Dubois' trainer. I rate Dubois. When Dubois was in there with Joyce, yeah. I forgot his name now. He works at the Peacock Gym, but I think he runs it. But either way, I think it was round 6 or 7, and Dubois' trainer sat him down and said, "Listen, Dan, we're here now. Yeah, this is the fight game. Do you want it or not?" Yeah, they didn't tell no lies though. We're here. This is it. Yeah, a lot of these guys, they think the fight game is you come in there and punch a bum over, and that might well be the case for a long time. But at some point, you're going to end up in a fight. What is this? I don't understand what people think this is. I'm not IB, you didn't box before, but I understand though. I get it. Yeah? And if I lost, like in the fashion AJ lost, how could I be angry? Anyone who loses a points decision need to zip their mouth. You've got nothing to cry about. Because you had a choice to go hell for leather and leave it all out there and leave on your back. That's what Anthony Yarde did. Anthony Yarde could have said, let me politic with Kovalev some more and let's go to, Kovalev's a big puncher. Let me go to points with Kovalev. And then, I can say, I lost to Kovalev on points. And, no. He left it all out there and he could leave that ring proud of himself. Kovalev was the better man and I had nothing left. There's nothing Anthony Yarde could have done in that sense. Could he have had a different strategy? Maybe, but that's not the point. I told you before, I'm genuinely not interested in strategy. I'm interested in, did you leave it all out there? If AJ went in there with Usyk, and just went nuts for 4 rounds and gassed out and got put on his back like Yarde, I may question the strategy, but just like Yarde, I'd say, listen, he made it to Warriors Heaven. He wasn't afraid of meeting his fate. Yeah? You win or go out on your back at this level in particular. Once you hit the $1 million level, there's no excuse. Yeah? If you're knocking around making 20 grand, 50 grand, then You got to live to fight another day, but these man making 20, 30, AJ's level, you're making 30 mil a pop. You're damn right I expect you to go out on your back. Yeah? The fuck? What are we doing here? What is this political? Oh, people, this is the fight game. It's not chess. It's not chess. This is it. Yeah? Like Danny Dubois' trainer said, we're here now. This is it. This is the fight game, Dan. Do you want to have a fight? He didn't want to have a fight. And that's become a theme in his career. He doesn't want to fight. He wants to beat you up if he can and then just jump on the floor. That's no good for me. I'm not interested in that. That's almost like a bully mentality. I'm good at beating people up. Well, that's why people, oh, baby, you're not a boxer, you're not a fighter, so you can't comment. Listen, if Anthony Yard wants to tell me something, I have to listen. Because he's made it through the gates. But someone like AJ can't tell me nothing. Because we are the same. Neither of us are going through the gates. Neither of us are warriors. Anyone can, obviously it's relative, but anyone who can't beat someone up, who can't do that? Anyone here could beat someone up. The question is, when you're getting beat up or losing, what do you do? That's what the actual question that matters is. Anyone here can win a fight. Anyone. Anyone can bully someone. Yeah? Daniel Dubois can bully these bums. Who can't do that? What do you do when you're down on your luck and you're tired? Yeah? And AJ's political, and Daniel Dubois is like the worst example. He just jump on the floor. Yeah, like that's just, he just give up. He's shocking, man. He should be banned. There should be fines, I believe. You should be fined some of your purse. I ain't gonna lie to you. Just jump on his knees, man. Nah, it's a bad look for Dan. Oh, he came back against Miller, maybe. Yeah. I just believe Dan wasn't pushed that far yet. That's what I believe with Dan. And Tyson Fury said it best. If you jack once, you'll jack again. Now, AJ's somewhat turned it around, but again, unfortunately, people, he hasn't been tested yet. We haven't seen him in a fight he's losing yet. That's when it matters. AJ's never had a problem winning a fight. We know he can do that. The question still remains, though, what is he going to do when he can't just drop his right hand to his waist and wing it? And someone like Usyk and Fury, it's much more complicated, and as we know, than dropping your hand and winging it. One shot, may he get it done against Usyk? Maybe. That's not the mindset I'll be preparing him for, and I don't think Ben Davison would be preparing him for that either. But this Ngannou fight and the Wallin fight, AJ didn't get hit in any of them. So one of two things is going to have to happen now. Either AJ can continue with his former mindset of kind of, well, I don't really want to make it to Warriors Heaven. And hopefully, Ben Davison can give him the skills. Hopefully, AJ can get through the rest of his career. Like, for example, who knows? Is it possible AJ can now get more information from Ben Davison and go in there with Fury and knock him out with one punch and knock out Usyk with one punch? Hopefully. But the chances are, against Fury and or Usyk, he's going to find himself in round 9 again. Yeah. Having to dig deep. And I hope Ben Davison is developing that part of things as well. Because the chances are, if I was to bet, I still think AJ can beat Usyk and Fury. Based on this form. But they're not going to be like Wallin. They're not going to be like Ngannou. That's the odds in my opinion. Yeah? Maybe it's the case, and hopefully it is the case that AJ has truly entered the Matrix and he can see things now, and Fury, he's just going to see everything Fury's doing and knock him out with big punches. Maybe. Hopefully. But my base case would be AJ needs to develop his software as he's doing with Ben, but also have it in the bank. You know what? Hopefully I can knock out Usyk and Fury in one punch like Ngannou and dominate them like Wallin with this new IQ. But there needs to be something behind that as a backup thing. You know what? I've done all this IQ stuff for 8 rounds and the fight's too close for my liking. Now it's time to go. Now it's time for me to make it to the gates one way or another. I'm going to win this fight or I'm going to get stopped trying. Is that there with AJ? We won't know until the Fury fight. And again, maybe we'll never know. Maybe AJ just blows all these guys out now. Great. But the odds are not going to... It'd just be too easy. It'd be too easy. And we haven't seen enough either. The Wallin fight looked good, great. The Ngannou fight, we didn't really see nothing. We saw composure. We didn't see enough though. We saw composure with Wallin. Again, we didn't see enough coming back. We didn't. Let's be real here. Was Wallin serious? Did Wallin turn up to win? I'm not sure. Certainly didn't see it. We know Fury is going to turn up to win if he gets in the ring. We know Usyk's going to turn up to win if he gets in the ring. Even Hrgovic, to a lesser extent, I'd say, we know is going to turn up to win. So that's what I'm intrigued to see now. Yes, I believe Ngannou turned up to win. Did he have the skills to do anything with it? Clearly not. That's why he was knocked out in round 2. But yeah, I've gone around the thing there, but there's a reason I always go back to this, because I believe this is fundamental for AJ. You can get all the IQ you want. Maybe it'll be enough to get you through these next few big fights. But even so, if AJ knocks out Usyk and knocks out Fury, yeah, his legend will be big, but his career will be missing something. It's a bit like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson gets... People who know boxing critique Mike Tyson, saying he's never really won a hard fight he's been in. Name one. Mike Tyson either beat you up or he lost and didn't really fight hard. With Holyfield, especially the second fight, he just trying to find a way out. Teddy Atlas said it, really, but I kind of agree. When did Mike Tyson come back from adversity to win a fight? You can't win them all either, that's fair enough. So yeah, the first Holyfield fight, he fought decently, but then he wasn't training and there was excuses. So for a man who wasn't training and had excuses, to come back and then bite his ear, it's weak. But yeah, all I'm saying is I'd like to see AJ getting the IQ updates with Ben Davison, like he's clearly doing. And Ben Davison has also changed his mentality. That's night and day almost. Because whatever we say about AJ, Ngannou and Wallin, they were at least as good as Franklin, or at least as good as Helenius. And AJ sucked against Helenius. You know what? Ngannou and Wallin are definitely better than Helenius. And AJ looked shocking against Helenius. It was a woeful performance. So that's changed. His tenacity is there now. He looked dangerous now. What we haven't seen is, are you dangerous against someone there to fight? I genuinely believe now one of two things AJ should do. I think AJ should dig up Andy Ruiz. Listen, Andy Ruiz ain't been fighting. He's not been active, but F it. It's not really about that. Andy Ruiz has slow feet. He has quick fans. And I want to see AJ run that back. That's what I'd advise for AJ right now. Get that back. Because that monkey's always going to be on your shoulder. Yeah, you beat him on points. No, you need to beat his ass. And you've got nothing else to do right now. They're talking about Hrgovic or either or. But Andy Ruiz or Hrgovic are the plays for AJ. The Andy Ruiz fight will always be big. Or the next one will be. Because AJ can sell it on the basis that, listen, we have unfinished business. It's 1-1, but you have a knockout over me. And I need that back. That would change AJ's legend. Yeah, for him to demand that fight and go in there. Ruiz has got slow feet. He's got quick hands. But Ben Davison, listen, Fury and Usyk are much harder puzzles to try and solve, I believe. Andy Ruiz, I'm not a boxing kind of savant like Ben Davison is, but with Andy Ruiz's feet, yeah, he has quick hands, but with Andy Ruiz's feet and his lack of range, if you're telling me Ben Davison can design a plan to beat Fury and Usyk, you're damn sure he can design one to not just beat Andy Ruiz, but beat him up. Beat the brakes off him. Because we know Andy Ruiz ain't going to train properly. We know he's just going to turn up, so he should be a heavy bag. That would be a great showing for me to see where AJ's mind's at. That would tell me he's coming to prove a point now. For him to fight Ruiz again, he wouldn't go in fight Ruiz just to beat him on points again. To go in there and beat Ruiz's ass. To see that would be something to behold. And it would also show how much his mentality, because it's one thing to be in flow state. Okay, we've seen AJ in flow state against Wallin. He wasn't throwing nothing back. He's not particularly quick. He's not particularly aggressive. It's one thing to see AJ in flow state against Ngannou, who again, he throws single punches, he's cumbersome. Yes, Andy Ruiz's feet are slow, but I want to see what AJ's flow state looks like. It's easy to look like you're really confident and flowing against Wallin or against Ngannou for a one punch. Can you look that slick? Can you look that confident when you've got Andy Ruiz firing off 3 punches, firing off fast left hooks in the cut? And if we see AJ smoke Andy Ruiz, then I can start saying, damn, yeah, for AJ to survive tangling with Andy Ruiz and knock him out, a man who's never been knocked out, usually it's got problems. Because Andy Ruiz has the hand speed of someone like Usyk. And Fury, if not quicker, to be honest. The feet game's completely different, but that's what makes it worthwhile. His feet are so slow, there's no reason AJ shouldn't batter Andy Ruiz and punch him up, as he should have done. But yeah, so yeah, in conclusion, this video I've rambled on, because I do feel passionately about this topic, I do. I want AJ to do it all, I do. I want him to have the Valhalla mindset. I want him to have the Matrix IQ. But I'm only going to go based on facts. I'm not going to start, he's back and he's got let's see a test first. Andy Ruiz would be a test. That would be a psychological test. Can I go in there and beat the demon who essentially railroaded AJ's career? And if Ben Davison isn't the man to do it, who is? And the Ruiz fight will be big money as well. The money will be there. It's intriguing. Especially, all AJ has to say is a few lines. I'm doing this fight for revenge. I didn't get revenge. I beat him, but it wasn't revenge. This fight, I'm coming back to prove a point. Them 2 or 3 lines sells the fight. I'm not here to do nothing else but knock this guy out. That's what I'm here for. And anything less is no good. I might as well have not bothered, right? If I just go in there and beat this guy on points, I might as well have left it at the second fight. That line or them few lines is all I need to hear. I'm interested now. Because Andy Ruiz, he might be lazy, but he's not a bum. He's not a Wallin. Wallin for me is just a bum. He ain't got nothing though. Andy Ruiz has firepower. He doesn't have massive power, but he has fast hands, as shown, and we know he can hurt AJ. So yeah, that's what I want to see. But as far as the rigged fight goes, there's less and less evidence. Like I say, I'm 95 to 99% sure that the fight wasn't rigged. You see again here, just to sum it up. So AJ jabs, Andy, look, here we go, a better example. AJ jabs, Ben Davison throws the jab there, and a big right hand from AJ. So the sequence was there. AJ was practicing a more developed sequence. He ended up just executing on the last bit. Nonetheless, this shows that, or implies, there's less of a chance it was rigged. And also, I've got a video coming soon just to finish this off. And this really was the conclusive evidence, but someone pointed out in the comments that look at Ngannou's leg when he goes down. And the way his leg bends, it's just hard for it to be rigged. You can't bend your leg like that. And also watch the way his head goes down. He's literally lifeless. His leg bends and gets like bent in half, and his back, his head ricochets. It's like a big snaky thing. The momentum of his body dropping is carried all the way to the floor, and then his neck whips and his head licks off the canvas. Very hard to do unless you're genuinely knocked out. Now I guess you could say, well, the real staging was that Ngannou was paid to get knocked spark out, kind of thing. Let's put your chin in the air. Okay, Ngannou, you throw a jab. AJ, you wing a massive right hand, and we know you take a big... But is someone going to do that? You wouldn't have thought so, would you? So yeah, I'm 95% sure, 99% sure that this fight wasn't fixed. And that's good news for Team AJ. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and let off the bell, 100%, no doubt.